Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest on of war Soulstormcasts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on the Shrine of Exelon. Playing on the southern side as the Imperial Guard, we've got a VRP. And playing on the northern side as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got Custom King. Custom King will be opening up triple cultists and a Chaos Temple. Whereas VRP is going to go for a couple of Guardsmen, a Tech Priest Engineer, and a infantry command. Oh, and a plasma generator as well, just to round things off. So yeah, this is the first 1 vs 1 in Definitive Edition. Very exciting stuff. And we are seeing a lovely positioning for the infantry command. Over on the right hand side, you will notice that this map is quite a small map if we could just ignore the fog setting for Definitive Edition. I have no idea why they've kept the fog setting on for this game, but we will fix that at some point in the near future, I imagine. So yeah, so plenty of potential harassment opportunities, and that is exactly what Custom King is going to go for. A Raptor squad which will be able to jump forward and smash the little Imperial Guardsman in the face. Custom King, we've seen him on the channel before, quite an experienced player. Don't know about VRP. Might be a player as old as time, might be a brand new player, who knows, but we shall see how he goes up against a seasoned veteran of the old war Raptor squad, coming straight towards the Imperial Guard as they very stalwartly try and ignore them as best they can. But they will have the morale broken, popping our listing post on there as quickly as humanly possible and going back to their full number. Now we are seeing a command squad coming out as well, going to go straight for the enemy base, as well as guards. Oh, look at that! A little bit of counter harassment going on by VRP here. Very good stuff indeed. Going to go for those heretics as well, potentially. Always want to focus on the Chaos Space Marines heretics if you can, just because they are quite a fragile builder unit. So if you could take them on, I mean, what, that's like 70 blue money, take it out straight away, and also prevents them from building stuff. So always a benefit if you can, as opposed to the mighty Tech Priest Engineers, wherever you guys have gone. There you are. A lot more health. Well, is it a lot more health? We've got Commander Armor. You can do more damage in close combat as well. We will die, but he almost got listing post up, which is something. We appreciate effort on this channel, boys and girls. We appreciate effort indeed. Good aggression from both sides here as the command squad comes down. Now, it's not got any friends at the moment, which is interesting. 9 times out of 10, always, as an Imperial Guard player, if you've got your command squad out, you'll always go for a priest and a psychic, mainly because the priest does a fair bit of damage in close combat, also increases health, morale, and I do believe the movement speed of the squad as well. Obviously the psychic throws out a big zap that could target singular models as well. Don't normally see the commas art, but if you are new to the game and you're a bit worried about sending your commander into melee and then him dying, then you go for your psychic and your commissar, put them on range stance, and then you've got 3 las pistols, which are pretty powerful, that can help support your guardsmen. Just 2 men left in that squad. Now going to be forced to fall back, but Bo's got some lads inside of listing post as well. So even if it's not upgraded, it will be able to fire out and about, which is one advantage for the Imperial Guard. You don't necessarily need to upgrade your listing posts for them to be defensive. You can also make sure that your builder units are also contributing much more significantly to a firefight near your listing posts, which is why the Imperial Guard are a more defensive-focused faction. But don't let that, give you a false sense of security. A lot of Imperial Guard players will think, yes, I am a defensive faction, therefore I will play exclusively defensive, and then lose because of not being all that aggressive. Also, build your listing posts. That's what you need to do. Rule number 1, go on a war, build your listing posts. That's where your money comes from. But I suppose I'm trying to be a lot more focused on building up these outer posts, so that kind of makes sense. It is forgivable. And wonderful use of that infantry command, able to protect this yonder post and this post here. With the superior firepower, 2 boys in there allow you access to plasma guns as well. Always useful against Raptors, which are heavy infantry, and also a little bit less durable than your regular Chaos Space Marine. Trying to go for 1 squad, but as 1 squad lose morale, they fall back and then turn their attention around. So a lovely little bit of micro from VRP. You can also send your Tech Priest Engineers into combat if you really want to. Their las pistols aren't terrible in a pinch, although obviously you probably want them to focus on the listing posts in this context, but Never be scared to use them in a fight if absolutely necessary. And the Raptors may be potentially overstaying their welcome, but they are occupying the Imperial Guard quite nicely, preventing them from capturing this relic over here, which I assume, yep, the Chaos Space Marines have done so on the left-hand side. They have now got their Chaos Lord out as well and will be bashing down this listening post. But the Imperial Guard do not look like that. They're going to play on the defensive. They're going to go straight over here and will deny this strategic point, potentially. Raptors have not had time to regain their troops. They were expecting this push from the Imperial Guard. No one ever expects a glorious bayonet charge, and that's why it's so damn strong. Our Tech Priest will be preparing this, as I assume another priest has gone from the underground tunnels, which, if you're not familiar, Imperial Guardsmen that are inside buildings can basically be transported from one building to another. The listing post only has one space. Tech Priest goes down, sadly, but that's not going to perturb these guys. Just a mass of lads forming a beautiful concave, and even the heavy armour of the Chaos Space Marines can't contend with so much firepower. There we go, the command squad now gone for a Commissar and a Psyker. Very nice stuff indeed. Well, to be very careful with Chaos being inside of your base at the moment. Current economy is 68 and 10 compared to 80 and 0. So no tier 2 for Custom King on the way at the moment. Without green money, you do not get tier 2. Whereas VRP does have a little bit of green money on the go. Always very difficult taking down the Imperial Guard in tier 1, just because they can, in fact, we'll probably have to watch from the Imperial Guard's perspective, just so we can see how many guys they've got in their buildings. But yeah, it's just, they stick a few guys in here and then this becomes a super turret, really, essentially, which is a big problem. So rather than try and flounder against that, they'll just see if they can sort out the Imperial Guard and take it down more little heretics, and getting a decap in here as well. Very nice stuff indeed. So there we are. And potential for tier 2 for the Imperial Guard. They are building up a second plasma generator, which will give them that boost necessary. Gotta be careful at not constantly reinforcing their guardsmen, just because otherwise that will then delay the tier 2. And Chaos Space Marines, unlike their loyalist counterparts, they're not as flexible. Their regular Chaos Space Marines can't get missile launchers, so they've got to build up a different production building and get out as a horror squad if they want a quick tier 2 anti-vehicle unit, or they build up their machine pit and go for Hell Talon or something like that. Which obviously, you know, it's not ideal. But a couple of Chimeras will be able to help these guys go in and come out of any kind of offensives. Still struggling to maintain control on the left-hand side. There's a doable economy. And, oh dear, questionable. I don't know about the tactical control at this stage, unless they are planning to go for a very heavily upgraded infantry base. I mean, you either go for your tactical control and then upgrade these guys out the wazoo, or you go for vehicles. But I mean, mind you, going for a bunch of plasma guns in tier 2 and then getting a couple Chimeras, that's not a terrible idea. Chimeras are quite cheap, and you can get some of your upgrades while you're waiting to tech up, so maybe yes, maybe no. There's different schools of thoughts on build orders, but as we've said before, it's entirely dependent on the context. No two games are the same in Dawn of War Definitive Edition. The Raptors are doing a good job tying these guys up at the moment. The grenade launchers blast these guys from a distance, although getting a little bit too close for comfort. I want to pull these guys away, and trying to build up a listing post in the middle of all this stuff, maybe not the most opportune time to do so. One lonely Commissar with no friends at the moment. One thing as well that maybe VRP could be benefiting from is one singular Commissar, just so that when they're in tier 2 we can then start sacrificing the men for an increase in morale and firing rate and such. Or is it firing accuracy? Either way, they do a better job engaging in a ranged situation.
I will do as you ask.
And the command squad, oh, you've still got your commander voice, even though you're dead. Speaking from beyond the grave. Haha! Look at that, a couple of cheeky punts with a grenade launcher. Love to see it. Get on your backside, LFS. You're not welcome here. Well, I've got a couple of plasma generators now. But tier 2 is yet to begin for you. I don't know whether the building add-ons button... Yep, built add-ons is still part of a thing. If you're ever casting your own games or watching your own games for whatever reason, this little thing down here tells you when you're in Tier 2. Also, factions have got different things to tell you, like in the Imperial Guard in Tier 2, they get this little dish here. But not all factions have got a very obvious Tier 2 sign on their buildings. Can't remember what it looks like for Chaos. We'll have to keep our peepers peeled for such a thing. Chaos Space Marines now putting pressure on the right-hand side. And are you in Tier 2 territory? I mean, you've got the green money for it. But you're just building up your defences at the moment. Maybe he's assuming that the Imperial Guard don't have anything else going on. They've got the sergeants, but they're going for more grenade launchers. I don't know how I feel about this. Plasma guns are the way forward against the Chaos Space Marines, but that being said, the grenade launchers do give you that additional distance away from the Chaos Space Marines. Should they go for the heavy bolters, it means that you could be on a range parity, if that is the word we are looking for here. So outranging the regular bolters of the Chaos Space Marines, but need something else going on for them at the moment. I'm not sure if you've gone for any upgrades. Yeah, you've gone for no morale upgrades. I don't think you've gone for any health upgrades neither. But if you've got the Tatska, you're not building up your Mechanicum command, or Mechanised command even, if you pardon my French. Upgrade your boys. You've got the resources. Well, you've got some resources. Spending a lot on upgrading each individual unit though, which, as we've said in yesterday's game, sometimes that's not the most advantageous thing, because having fully fledged squads do tend to slow down your tech, I suppose. These Raptors, although they've taken a beating, they're still alive, gosh darn it. Unless you're a fresh squad, in which case you're not alive, you have a different one. Take it all back. Another listing post being built up. Having a really difficult time maintaining these sides. Now,
standing ready.
The debate about turrets is always, do you get them at this stage of the game when you're in the mid-game? I'm thinking that if you're trying to defend two sides at once, maybe a turret might actually be a benefit, just because it gets you a little bit more time to get on over. Also, you're not really making much use out of your teleporting stuff. Maybe an infantry command over here and an infantry command over there might be better than a turret, but that's okay. You're doing your best, and that's the main. That's all we can ask of a soldier of the Imperium. We are now going for Tier 2 for Custom King. Also got the Chaos Armory and Plasma Pistols as well. Never ever sleep on the Plasma Pistol upgrade. Always useful to give your squads a little bit more of a punch. And are we seeing any Commissars in the ranks of these guys at the moment? No, we are not. Always go for one. I mean, not always, but more often than not, go for one. Bringing forth the temporary tendencies to keep this infantry command alive. Also going to go for a heavy weapons team, although questionable. Just around Raptors on the field at the moment, but two temporary tendencies can do all the healing necessary to save a building. And now packed with 3 individuals inside this infantry command. Everyone around them is going to be taking a lot of damage. This cult squad over here having a squad wipe for their troubles. So very nice stuff indeed. As the Imperial Guard attempt to recapture their side of the map. It's been, although they've done a thing where they're putting all their army together in one place. You only need one squad to cap. Send everyone else out and about to do their own bits and bobs. That's what I would say. Lovely placement of the heavy weapons team there. If you put them next to buildings and stuff, it's harder to get a surround on them. So melee squads jumping on top of them are less likely to get as much damage as they could, potentially. One squad losing their Commissar. Chaos Space Marines activating their Let's Hurt Them More ability. Always forget what it's called. A sizable amount of boys. Now they're going to start laying siege to the plasma generators on the outside of Custom King's relic position. You might be wondering, why has Custom King built these so close to the Imperial Guard? That's because, essentially, to save time from walking your builder all the way back to base and build stuff up, you may as well build it here, because, you know, it just saves time. But, you know, we'll lose them on the occasion. And there we are, heavy weapons team killing all the Raptors. But the infantry command at the moment isn't being manned. Stick these boys in there, gosh darn it. will serve you better being inside of there. There we are. And where are the... Oh, don't walk a man. Put one in there. Take the Imperial Guard bus. Oh, it's been focused down. Heavy weapons team is dead. And the Imperial Guard don't seem to be all that keen. They think that they can defend this side. They've been sold a false bill of goods. One tech priest agency are attempting to repair this as it's going down. He's doing a very good job keeping it alive, but for how much longer can he maintain it? Is that... Yeah, no, he's doing alright. But the firepower has now been focused on him. And even his commander armor isn't going to keep him alive for much longer. Here's a learn... Oh, no, sorry. It's not a learn priest, it's just a priest that took a different route. And that has sent the command squad back on their haunches. And now the Imperial Guard are going to be struggling. A Defiler, one on his own, breaking the morale of all these guys with but nary a Flamer and a couple of pieces of artillery coming for him, and a Chaos Sorcerer there as well. But we do have a Mechanized Command, so a Sentry. Sentinel, that's what you're called. And that's exactly what it's gone for. So Sentinel will help you up against that boy quite nicely. Problem with the Imperial Guard is that they don't really have any anti-vehicle infantry, with the exception of the heavy weapons team, but the lack of maneuverability means it's quite difficult to get them in the right position at the right time. Infantry command now being forced to be built behind the listening post, which will make it more difficult to defend stuff. And the heavy bolters, that's always a ill-tide for the Imperial Guard. The heavy bolters can rip through an entire squad very quickly if you haven't gone for any of the healthy upgrades. And here comes the Sentinel. And Custom King's been very cautious at the moment, not committing too much to any one kind of engagement. He's just essentially been poking and prodding left and right all game so far, which is strategy really to go for. You don't want to commit too much and lose against the Imperial Guard's superior defences. You just want to be doing what damage you can where you can. Another listening post goes down, and VRP says okay, GG. And what a damn good game been played by both players here. I think that VRP might have been a newer player, as could maybe have told by the lack of listening posts earlier on in the game, which is not, I don't think, a problem of his understanding of the game. I think it's learning the basic muscle memory of what to do in what order. But I think he did a damn fine job, just, you know, maybe refining the specific mechanics of the Imperial Guard. I think using the underground tunnels between the buildings would have helped him quite a lot, and maybe having a bit more of a clear idea of what he wanted from his unit composition. Did he want to go for souped up guardsmen, in which case get all the upgrades he can, and then get a couple of commissars and maybe priests to bolster the ranks of your boys? But if you're going to go for like naked guardsmen, then go for a couple of vehicles instead to bolster them. But, you know, don't go for infantry command and vehicles and then go for neither, because then obviously that makes no sense. And lots of lovely aggression from Custom King all the way through there, as I mentioned, not committing to one side all the way through the game, going through one, then going through the other, and then just kind of like a game of chaos whack-a-mole, really. So there we go, that is a summary. So yeah, so cheers to Custom King for sending that game to us via the Discords. If you want to send your games over to the Discords, please do have a look at the links in the description below. We've also got a Patreon where, you know, £1 a month gets you once a game a week, all that jazz. And yes, mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always never short. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace.